Today's episode is sponsored by Toronto Open Dance Championships, happening April 16th to 19th, 2020, in beautiful Toronto, Canada. You can visit the website at www.torontoopen.ca for more information.
It's the Grand Circle Podcast with your host, Samuel Galubak and Inessa Strelnikova. It's your intimate look into the lives of world champion dancers. And now, here's Samuel and Inessa.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Grand Circle Podcast. My name is Sam.
And my name is Inessa.
And today we have a very special guest with us.
Very charismatic, very elegant, beautiful couple.
They are finalists of all major competitions in the world, such as Blackpool, Internationals, Worlds, UK, and European.
Please welcome to the studio, Nino
and Andra.
Langella. Yes. And
Nino and Andra.
Yes, Nino and Andra.
Hi.
Hello. Very happy to have you here, guys. And if you don't mind, Sam,
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to
Like
get
always.
started with Andra and questions, because I've seen Andra growing up in Canada. I know you and your family very, very well, and for a long time. And I've seen you dance and evolve, and it's been a journey, obviously, a very successful journey. So I always wanted to know, how did it start for you? Because I saw you dancing in Canada when you moved here with your family, but were you a dancer back home? Obviously, you started way earlier.
Well, yes. I started when I was 4. And I danced in a club in Lithuania. And my parents used to bring me to some big competitions in Europe where I met Nathan, if you remember. I used to dance with Nathan.
I remember.
Yeah. And so I moved here actually to dance with him because our parents talked, they arranged the tryout, and then we liked it here. So we moved purposely so I can pursue my dance career better here. And so, yeah, it began way before Canada.
Way before Canada. But after you moved to Canada and you were dancing with Nathan, would you share how Canadian training or being in Canada and training with your partner being at that point shaped you as a dancer?
Well, let's say I didn't really stay here because we traveled quite a lot training around the world. It was an opportunity I got because it was Nathan and his parents that introduced me to many top teachers around the world. So I wasn't in this situation where I moved to Canada and I stayed here. We went to school, but we were constantly traveling. So for me, it was very good because it was moving here that opened the doors to me, to many important people in the world.
Did you guys start with standard and Latin together?
Yes.
So you danced all 10 dances,
Yeah.
right?
Mainly Latin, but we did ballroom as well. Yeah.
So while traveling and getting training everywhere else outside of Canada, would you name some teachers, coaches that really made an effect on what you are right now as a dancer?
From when I was little?
From whenever you started to take those coaching lessons and go everywhere, like you said.
Well, I guess it was a handful of teachers. Most importantly, it was Alan Tornsberg and Vibeke. We worked with them the most. So we used to meet Alan, I remember, in Denmark. He used to come in Canada. We used to go wherever they were. And so I think them too, the most. We trained with quite a few people. We had some guest lessons, but Alan and Vibeke the most, which are still my teachers today.
Awesome. And you coming obviously from a dancing family because your parents are dance teachers, we
course.
know that, and you and
Yeah.
your parents, you all run in dance school here in Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
So how did parents affect it? Was it their choice or your choice? Why did you start dancing at 4? I guess you had no choice.
No choice. Actually, my parents didn't push me too much. It was my grandmother. She was like, you have to dance. And my parents were so busy, and it was my grandma who used to pick me up from school, feed me, take me to dance, pick me up.
Back in Lithuania, right?
Yes.
Back in Lithuania. That's right. That's where I sounded.
Yeah, it was my grandma.
Well, so now that you trained with so many people and your parents also played the important role. So nowadays, who do you go to? Do you have a main coach, particularly at this moment when you are dancing together with the new partnership with Nino?
I mean,
not very new, of course, but very recent.
Very recent, yeah.
Yeah. We have a few people that we go to for different things. We have people who help us with choreography, people who help us with partnering, people who help us with technical skills. We like to have guest lessons every now and again to get some new feedback, to get inspired. We also like to take some teachers in different styles of dance sometimes to get some new ideas.
Different opinions and stuff.
Yeah. But I would say we have a team of our teachers, then everybody has a different role, so it works well.
Let's hear a little bit from Nino.
Yes,
Yeah,
that,
I know,
I
I'm the
will
only
get
one
there.
talking.
That's right.
I
Because
wanted to ask Nino, how did you get into dance? How did you start?
Well,
right, we know that dancing in Canada is big. Was it big in your hometown? Can you share with us where are you from and how did it start for you?
well, I think generally in Italy there is a lot of dance. So anyway, I started when I was 7, and my sister was dancing.
So
I
brother
wa-
and sister, siblings dancing?
Yeah, I had my biggest sister. She was dancing before. Now she stopped. She have baby, so she said I'm enough. I was doing taekwondo.
Taekwondo?
Yeah, I was
Wow,
doing
martial
taekwondo.
arts.
So normally my mom used to take me from taekwondo and take my sister from dance school. And one day it just happens like this. I was waiting for her, and her teachers was like, try. I try, and after that moment I didn't stop anymore. And basically, after 1 month I win Latin competition. So, yeah.
1 month later?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
And-
mean, in Italy we used to do, of course I used to do ballroom, Latin, and liscio, which is like very beginning, like mazurka, Anyway, like this.
Like this. So, we know that a lot of dancing couples, when they dance together, they end up married, but not all of them. It's not uncommon, but it is still special. And I believe it's a lot of work. But did you ever dream, any of you, Nino, Andra, that you actually will marry your dance partner? Was it part of the plan, or you thought,
No.
okay, no?
Well, no, of course no. I mean, that's a little bit strange question.
How did you meet? How did you meet and decide to dance together?
Well, basically, we know each other for a long time, right? I mean, but it was just hi, how are you, because, generally, we have so many competition, but we are always the same people. So basically, we all know each other, right? And like this, but that's a little bit long story. If I need to tell, maybe we need 5 hours of interview.
Yeah.
Because,
Make
not
it short.
longer, shorter, I used to dance in another federation. But I still know all of them, right? Because we race together.
Right.
Let's say like this, we race together. And then I come back in where we are now, and we end up dancing together.
This leads me to one of the questions from our audience. Since we did have, we promised a segment that when our audience would send in questions, they did send in questions. So we have a question for Nino. How did you feel transferring from WDSF to WDC, and do you think it was a positive change?
But in my opinion, yes. I don't know how the opinion of other people. I think I made the best choice, without regret what I did. I'm so proud
Well,
what
of
I
course,
did.
you're dancing with Andra.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
You saw-
Again, I say you one more time, without regret what I did before, because I have best time also there. I became 3 times world champion. Had many friends there, which respect me, which I respect them. Nothing to say. It was just my choice, because basically, and I'm very proud to say that I was 9 years when I danced Blackpool Juvenile.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's comparable.
So generally, I always miss it to dance where I am now. So it was a moment in my life that my heart says that I need to come back, because I was missing. Now it could be because of dancing, because Blackpool, UK, international. I was 8 when I danced all those competitions, but it's very difficult to say. But normally, to make that choice, you should dance this competition. Unfortunately, today the situation is a bit difficult because it's too different. Nothing goes well together. So because I dance those competitions, I understand the meaning. So that's why for me it was very easy to choose to come back, because basically I miss it. It's not about dancing, you know. So
But I guess you saw Andra and you thought, okay, I'll follow her wherever she is.
then I saw Andra and I was like,
No, I have to say something. Actually, it wasn't like that at all. We met because he came back, but he came
really?
back
He
with
came back
a
before?
yes. He came back with a different partner. He danced with Anna Melnikova. So that's how we started talking again, because he came back to the federation, and then we started to date. And actually, we dated together for 2 years before we even had a tryout.
she fell in love with me.
Right. So he danced with Anna, I danced with Maurizio. We used to go to the same competitions, but we were not dancing together. We just
How was
dated.
that though? Dating?
Very difficult. We'd see
was
each
like-
other for like, I don't know, 3 days a month sometimes.
Wow.
Because we had 2 different careers, right? Sorry, back to you.
Very easy.
But you guys
Very
are
easy.
spending so much time together because, okay, so you're training together, you're living together, you're traveling together, you're competing together, you are together all the time. It must be hard.
24 hours.
Yeah, 24/7. So
24/7, yes.
I know
24, 365.
Yeah.
absolutely, and then I know a lot of people would love to know your secrets. How do you manage? Because, well, of course, we sometimes want the personal space. And do you guys meditate? You use how do you manage all of that, and then continue to stay in the relationship that is enlightful and inspiring and fresh?
That's another difficult question.
I promised we didn't do the questions like that, but people would like to know, because I know a lot of dancers right now maybe falling in love with each other, and they're thinking, should I really, marry my dance partner? So what would you tell them? Maybe give them the word of advice if you are going for some relationship like that.
That is, I will not call a choice. I've danced with one girl, I will gonna stay with her and I will gonna marry. No, you should marry a girl who you love, who you see the future, who you have good relationship. It's not about, I dance with partner. I mean, many people, dance together and they stay together. Many people, I know also many people that dance together but they're not together in the private life. So it's, but
for
generally
us-
sometimes you spend too much time together and basically you become like a really good friend that you share everything. And then people is slightly fell in love without even maybe thinking before, So they just fell in love and they do career together.
Well, you know what? And then if we forget about personal relationships, because you always on the go, you travel, and then today you're in Canada, tomorrow you need to go to Asia. How do you adjust to the particular time change? Do you have any special things that you want to
Nino
share with the? Like, what do you do when you're in an airplane? Do you listen to the music? You sleep? Because you need to arrive to maybe another part of the world and do a show and coach, teach. So. How do you deal with this?
We're so used to it by now that, like, it's rare that we have jet lag, to be honest, because we are constantly going and we've done it for so many years that it's kind of built in your body already. And because most of the time we are tired, it's like when you do have the hours that you need to sleep to prepare for the next day, you are able to switch your brain in that direction. But on the planes, one thing you might not know, Nino is super scared of flying.
Seriously?
So that's really funny with the
What a-
lifestyle he lives.
Yeah, the career choice.
Yeah. If there's turbulence, there's like,
So what do you do, Nino?
Stress all over.
You hold
do you
Andra's hand?
meditate? No, well, then some people meditate. Some people have a glass of wine. It depends.
Or a shot?
yeah.
I don't know if I need to be honest or no. I don't know if it is good for the people who follow us.
Listen,
Well, to know your secrets?
just share it.
Basically, no, I'm really scared of flight. Doesn't matter how many years I fly, how long is the flight. In somehow, I can make better. I'm scared to fly generally. And normally before I fly, I always a few glasses of red wine, which generally during the day I never ever drink.
So that's how you go
Relax.
through like 13-hour flights to Asia and
No,
stuff,
but
right?
normally
No, just to relax, to get
yeah,
started, to
I
get
mean, yeah, normally what I do when it's a long flight, I always try to don't sleep too much the day before I fly.
To sleep the whole plane?
Yeah, sometimes we try to match also with
Time zone.
the time changing with the country where we go.
Right.
But generally, I always try to sleep less, to sleep more on the flight, to feel a bit more relaxed.
And then, are there any vitamins or supplements that you take? This is actually from the questions that our listeners
Right.
sent to us, and they want to know if there's something that works really well. You know, I don't know, maybe extra C or B, group B vitamin, or
Now, to be honest, we don't take anything
Yeah, actually,
at all. We just try to eat healthy, but
if
what's your diet like?
if
What-
this person
Italian.
if this person have any regret, ask him to tell me what I can take. Because normally, yeah, I'm not against, but normally no, we don't like
So all natural,
Yeah.
just healthy food, right?
things.
Just healthy food,
We
and
try
mainly
to eat,
Italian?
We try to eat
Yeah,
mainly
unfortunately.
good. Yeah, does look like as Italian might people not believe, but always we try to eat healthy. Yeah, but in terms of, I mean, we also do some little vitamin, but I'm not that crazy person about
No,
vitamin.
this is how it works. We go to buy vitamins, we drink it for 3 days, and then
Yeah,
And then it keeps standing in somewhere in the cupboard.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, since we're talking about questions from the
Yeah.
listeners, they do even want to know what kind of spray you apply, and then how do you apply, and who does your back. Sorry, it's not my question. This is from the
I do
audience.
her back every single round.
Every single one. But do you have any preferences in the
Products.
tanning products?
well, I'm sponsored by a really great team for tanning. It's called Dance Cause, and they provide me with everything, and I've been with them for many, many years now. So they have different products. Sometimes I use for a show, which is I only need for 10 minutes, and different product for when I need it for a black pool where I dance 5 rounds. So
Stays
yeah.
longer.
Yeah, I
Long-
use
more
Dance
long-lasting.
Cause.
Do you have, this is, if we're going to be talking about mostly the questions that the audience sent to us. So one of the questions that someone sent to us was, do you have any tips for aspiring competitors?
Yes.
That's it, right? Yes, you do. What
no,
kind of
no,
tips?
Of course. I'm just trying to see how to put it in a short way. I guess definitely one thing we repeat to our students is that the key is always to stay inspired. So we find it in ourselves. If we are not inspired, it's difficult to push ourselves because our line of work, career is not the very easy one. So make sure that you are always inspired, because the second most important thing is to be enthusiastic about everything you do. So if you're not inspired and you're not enthusiastic, you need to somehow find a way to bring yourself to that, because that's how you get your results fastest.
Andra, I've seen you teach in the studio, and I noticed you sometimes at the end of the lesson, you lay everyone down on their backs and you put on a motivational speech or something, and you let them listen with closed eyes.
Yeah.
How does that help dancers? Maybe, like, who do you listen to as motivational, or how does that help?
Yeah, I mean, me more, not Nino so much. Basically, I read something or I listen to something and then I tell it to him. But I think listening to mental training audiobooks is very important, because sometimes we get too much into just thinking about the dance itself, the technique. We can get a little bit overwhelmed and learn only in one direction. Whereas, again, our line of work, our type of life is not enough just to be a good dancer. We need to be strong in many different areas. So I find mental training very helpful for us and for students that we teach around the world. So yes, when you see me teach here, I do quite a lot of that in like camps and groups. So sometimes to prepare for, a
Competitions.
performance for.
Would you name a few that you
competitions.
listen to, those audiobooks? Or?
I won't share my secrets.
Okay. All right. So then let's go back to.
If people want to hear what motivational speeches Andra listens to, they have to go to her classes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And you guys have a camp coming up too, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
In
we're going to
Toronto.
get to that. I just wanted to, before we switch for this part of our show, I wanted to ask another question from our audience. They asking, now that you are traveling and doing such a busy life the way you are, do you have time for friends? And we're not talking about dancing friends. Of course, you probably have friends outside of dance community. Do you?
Yes.
Do you
All my
have time for those
closest
friends?
Yeah.
How often do you see them per year?
My closest friends are not dancers. They do some party dancing, but not competitive.
Social
yes.
dancing, right?
And we usually laugh that we have quarterly meetings, so we see each other about 4 times a year.
Once per season.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one more question from the audience. How does it feel when your parents are dance teachers?
Difficult.
Mine not. So
Difficult because normally parents are like, no matter what you do, they'll always be your biggest supporters in a way. Oh, you're so amazing, even you dance not that great. But when your parents understand about dancing, they're, if you dance bad, they'll tell it to you, and that's
Straight
not
up.
something you always want to hear.
They'll be the first ones.
Yeah, don't expect too many compliments, but it's okay.
And then this other question, what would you do now if you did not become a dancer? What would be your other career? Just imagine. Or maybe you imagined when you were younger. Or you never imagined anything outside of that.
Well, we know Nino would be a martial arts person. He would be
Right.
like knocking out people and stuff.
I don't know, honestly, because I started so young and I was always so sure and clear what I want to do.
yeah, it's
But-
very difficult to answer on that question. I mean, if I think about how much spend follow my lobby, I love football.
Yeah,
Right?
you always say
I
that.
really love
Tell us
football.
about
Football.
football.
No, I mean
Go Italy.
people,
Soccer.
people,
No, go
Football.
Napoli.
Napoli.
people who knows me, they know I'm quite crazy about football. I mean, not just about for my team, of course, but generally I like to follow any team. So I know quite a lot about football. And basically I love to play also, but now it's already 2.5 years, 3 years I'm not playing anymore because I'm quite scared. It's very easy to get injury, but until a few years ago, even the dancing could stop me. It was something that I could control. I need to go to play.
So Nino could be a football player or a soccer player as
Yeah.
well,
But
in
actually,
American.
Actually,
you could be.
I'm quite good in football.
Awesome. And Andra, you could probably a motivational speaker. There is such a specialty also. If you because you said you're listening all this.
That's what my brother said. He says the same thing, but I don't see it. I don't know. I think I would do something maybe with like organizing events because I really
Event
like,
planner?
Yeah, something like that maybe.
Yeah, let's talk about that because you guys are already organizing your own event, right?
Yeah.
Together
The
with
sponsors
your
of this episode, actually.
They're sponsors
Toronto
of this
Open Dance Championships, right?
which is coming up on April
16 to 19. Yeah.
16th to 19th, 2020. So it's
Yeah.
just a few months away. So this happens every year, and it happens here in Toronto.
And this is going to be the 6th time, I think, right? Sixth annual?
Seventh.
Seventh time. So you guys, when you prepare, you usually arrive earlier, and then you have to do all this work because there's so much involved.
Depends, because the date every year slightly still shifts, and it depends what's in our calendar for dancing. So there were years that we were able to come early. There were years that we flew in the day before. There was one year we missed it. So actually we left the team and they worked, and we were like watching everything, they were filming it for us, but we had European or which competition? We had something we couldn't miss, absolutely.
I think it was Asian too.
Oh, maybe, yes.
Okay, well,
So-
so you have a great team. I know that because I know your family, your mom and your dad. I know your brother. He used to be a
DJ
dancer.
Hugo.
He's still dancing and coaching, and he's a DJ. You guys are dancers, and Maurizio. So all of you are very strong personalities. How does this team manage around?
Not easy. I mean, it's stressful.
Does everyone do their own job? Like,
We all like have our own jobs, but we all try to teach each other how to do the job. So that's the problem, because we all like to like boss each other around a little bit. So, but I mean, it's
But somehow it gets done, right?
it does. It's like when you say, you know, when you asked us in the beginning, how do we make it work when we're together 24/7? It's like once you take in, what's the word for arguing, but not in a bad way. Once you take arguing as a
Constructive criticism.
exactly, and in a positive way, it's works somehow. So even like, okay, we can have our moments, you know, a bit of drama, but we still end up in the same room smiling 5 minutes later, and everything works out.
Excellent.
So-
It's a
I
team.
think
That's how a team
it's a
works.
team, yeah, and then I think part of being a team is listening to each other and, you know, taking in positive criticism
Yeah.
and then maybe applying it to make the entire event better, right?
Yes, yes.
So again, Toronto Open is coming up soon in April, and we're looking forward to it. Okay, Sam, do you have more questions?
We
from
have
the-
a lot of questions from the audience,
Let's
but
do-
I
let's
don't
do
know
it.
if we're going to get to all of them. But another one is, what is the hardest thing you experienced in your dance life, and how did you overcome it?
The hardest. It will take some time because there's more difficult moments in competitive dance career than good ones. I can't say the worst one, but it's like maybe you get, I don't know, like 7 out of 10 times where you might not be happy with your dancing or the result, and 3 where you are. So that's just an example, but there's much more difficult moments than happy moments. So it's difficult to say which one is the worst. I don't think anything really
But
bad
just
happened.
not that one moment. How do you overcome those moments? Like, do you have how do you get through them?
With a very clear dream that we have in our heads. I mean,
So it's important to have a dream and keep going towards your
That
dream and
inspiration,
goal.
like you said before, the
And that's
inspiration,
gonna
right?
keep you
Yeah.
going.
I mean, you're gonna have so many days where you're like, why am I doing this? This is difficult. But why do we still get up, put the shoes on, and go to dance? Because we have that vision in our minds that needs to be accomplished, you know?
You see, one of my big teacher in this moment in time, he always keeping tell me, if one day you will not make it, it's Sam, what's wrong here?
It's something wrong with
Technical.
the
It's
clip.
okay. It's fine. Don't move, stays. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
I was saying in the question he was asking, like every time we have those moments, I'm try first of all, of course, I try to fall wherever my heart says, because I'm that kind of person. I'm very Eastern person. But there is one of my teacher that he always tell me when we have some not happy moment, right? It's not even about result, because we are quite happy what we are doing and we believe it. He always told me, if one day you will not make it, it's just because you give up. I believe it's not just in the dancing this. This is generally any sport, any job you have, any goal you have. Is the same amount of time, the same amount of work, the same amount of passion you need to put into it. You always you need to be inspired in anything you do. Doesn't matter which job you do. So yeah, I think like this. We all have it. I mean, we are artists. We can't be happy all the time. Especially when you compete even, you know. Of course, the expectation is always high, but if you keep going, you will, I believe, eventually, of course, I will get with my dreams are.
Okay, well, let's go now into some into this question about the most memorable positive moments. And then, so our audience is asking, what are your favorite places, competitions, and places not necessarily related to competitions? So let's speak about both. Favorite competitions and favorite places where you can go to rejuvenate and relax and restore, recharge your battery, and then come back into the dance floor. Nino, you want to go first? Right?
No, definitely I believe the best competition, the best place that inspire you in our world business of dancing is definitely Blackpool. In my opinion, it's again, it's something that doesn't matter in which federation you are, doesn't matter how is your level, doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter nothing. I think this is competition that I wish to everyone to step on the floor. Doesn't matter if it will be one round, doesn't matter if it is be winning this competition or be finalist.
Just to experience it.
You just need to step on that floor. I think this is it's like a dream for every dancer, It's a dream. It's something that you can't explain. I mean, in my opinion.
And your favorite place to relax?
My favorite place to relax,
Where would you go?
I like my city.
You want to
Italy?
go? You're going home.
I like my city.
Where are
This
you
is for
from?
me is the best place to relax. Doesn't matter what I do, even just standing.
To be with family?
Yeah, but generally this year, Andrew make me surprised. She bring me to Philippines,
Oh, wow.
and I need to say,
you like it?
about that.
and
Did you like
Long
it?
time
and I
ago.
need to say, I just love it. Just love it. I mean, the sea was amazing. It's something that's, people even don't know where is those places. Because, people always try to go like Maldives or, all those places that are famous.
But nobody really knows about.
Yeah, but
Philippines.
basically there is a few places there that is like just insane. And what I like even the more, how to say, poor people, like when people are poor, like the povertà.
Not the wealthy.
Poverty, not the most
Yeah,
wealthy people.
and there was like super amazing people, like insane. So you can live both, you see what does mean live with little money, and on the same time still find people happy. So I suggest you guys, when you're not happy, just
Go to Philippines.
Go to Philippines.
take $500 and go there, and you will understand a real life.
Yeah, they say the people are happiest in the
Insane.
Philippines. Yeah.
I was joking, when we every day we was going in different tour, snorkeling,
Snorkeling, yeah.
okay, I don't know in English, doesn't matter. We go in different place, right? And
Excursions.
every time we take a small boat, it was 2-3 guys there on top that they was, driving.
Controlling
and
it, right?
Yeah, let's say like this, explain us and everything. So I was talking with them hours and hours because I was interested how they live, how they can still be happy, how they can give food to their kids. And it was like people that there was 20, 22, and they have kids. And I was asking them, I say, do you want to come to Italy? Like, I will take care about you. In terms of, if you want to live better, I can find job for you to make more money. It was no one people tell me, yes, I want to come. They say, we love our place.
They love their country.
With $200 a month.
Less.
150.
And Andra,
So
That's crazy.
that's something like, when sometimes we think about dancing, Blackpool, federation, politic.
They don't have that. They don't think about that, right?
I'm just saying, there is also other things beautiful in the
they're
life.
living simple life, but they're happy, and maybe they
Yeah.
don't have much, but they have the happiness.
Yes. Oh my God, it was insane.
And Andra, your favorite competition and your favorite place to relax?
Blackpool as well, 100%.
And the new house.
Yes.
And the what?
A new house.
And
So
You
we're
guys
not
have
gonna
a
talk
new
about that.
Were we gonna talk about it, or we were?
No, we don't need. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
But you guys have a new house. That's wonderful, and then
Yeah.
of course,
So that's where I
Congratulations.
like to be now.
yes. And you probably, when you get a new house, you have to, furnish it and buy all the.
It's
things.
exciting.
It is
I
exciting.
mean, we never get to go there, but when we do have even if it's one night, we'll fly 20 hours just to be there, So that's my new favorite place now.
yeah.
to stay for vacation.
yeah, to stay home.
Are there any other places
To stay home.
Just
to
relax. Sometimes
relaxing?
you don't need vacation. You don't need to swim.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want your own space. It could be even a small room, just to get a bit out.
Secluded from the people and just have your own
It's
space.
your normal business routine every day, So
Yeah.
we are simple people.
Awesome. We
So,
have more questions
yes,
from the audience?
I just want to keep going for questions because people are going to get
you
upset that we don't
sure?
say their questions.
Are you sure
Yeah.
the audience asked this
I swear to
question?
God, they
Yeah.
sent
Oh,
it.
I see.
We
Yeah,
made
they're
Facebook and
visible.
Instagram posts.
Sam.
They are right underneath, they're in the comments section.
No, not in the comments. They specifically sent it
I
as
makes it more special.
direct message.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, through Instagram. Could you please give, this is me reading exactly word by word, could you please give useful tips how not to think about technique too much, but to relax?
To not think about too much. You mean in the dancing?
Yes.
Well, guys, that's a little bit strange question. I believe if you're not good enough, knowledge enough, especially in technique, you will not be able to relax. Make sense?
Does make sense actually, yeah. If you know the technique, then you'll be able to relax while you're
It's-
dancing.
It's very easy to say how I can be relaxed without technique. I think to be able to show yourself that you make look everything easy, you're dancing quite confident. This is about many, many years of learning and knowledge and information. To be able then to make it look easy and to make it looks enjoy your dancing, So yeah, I guess answer right. This is what I understand.
That's your answer.
I don't
So
know, yeah.
whoever sent that question in, that's your answer.
Yeah. But
Next question. Did you ever have a fear of failure? And if so, how did you cope with that anxiety? If you had any anxiety. Did you have any thoughts that you were just done with dance? That's it.
yeah, but this is normal, guys. This is normal. But I think that's not often. Of course, came a few times, but I think sometimes it's like when we are a little bit overstressed by, travel, practicing, organizing our life. Sometimes comes all together and you feel like the world in your head, But in somehow we're still here. Look, fresh.
Nino's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's very much to do with what's in your mind, and I think that anxiety many times we create it on our own. So I think that's where again mental training comes in handy, and I think that the fear of failure many times we create in our own minds. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what people see or think. It's because of your own nervous or stress or whatever you think people see. So I think learning how to cope with that inside your own thoughts will always help. So that's how, let's say, I would cope with it. Maybe yes, there are some times that we are not maybe as confident. And normally I would go into my brain and just reverse it as much as I can. Maybe it's not even about for us being nervous, but sometimes, let's say we're having a bad day. We have many good days where we feel great, but then there's always those days also when we just feel it's not our day. So it's always important to, check yourself out for 5 minutes and just go deeper into your thoughts and realize how we can shift it. And most of the times it works.
You just said it's not your day. Do you sometimes go to practice and just, it's not the day to practice? What do you do then? Do you just stop it or do you continue it? Do you push yourself to practice?
I mean, normally if it's not a day of patience to stay there, and we start to argue too much about something, most of the times it's super small, then we'll just probably say, let's just do a couple finals, run through the dances without too much feel, so at least we keep up our stamina and still get the work done. Or sometimes we'll say, okay, let's practice on our own, but for the same amount of time with the same intensity. So there's different types of practices that we can have, right?
I wanted to talk more about our sponsors, Toronto Open Dance Championships. What can we see at that competition? What can our listeners see? And when they come, if they come, to dance or to watch, what will there be there?
Well, I think because of our quite a big team, we are 5 people. My parents focus quite a lot on making the Children's Day absolutely amazing, which they do an amazing job.
You guys have a huge
It's like
children's
500
parade,
kids in
dance
there.
parade.
Yeah. So that's their field. Then we have, let's say, me, Nino, and Maurizio. We focus more on the amateur and pro events, as well as I focus quite a lot on making the best that we can with the pro-am sections and making sure that everyone leaves the competition with a smile, because I think we're not the biggest championship, but we're definitely very much about making sure that people feel warm, and we try always to create the best atmosphere by what we do with the lighting, what we do with the music. So we're just very happy when we see people have a good time.
You guys have quite a light show. I
Yeah.
know
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
DJ Hugo and his
Yeah.
lighting crew.
But
they
this
make
is exactly because we compete, so we know as a dancer
What we want
feel.
in the
Dancing with the beautiful floor, nice parquet, nice lights, nice music, you know. So
Yeah.
as a still dancer, we won't make dancer feel how I want to feel when I compete. You know.
That's good. That you make that connection.
Of
Yeah.
course.
The connection.
Well, I guess we'd like to wish your competition to be successful as it
Thank
is
you.
every year and even beyond, because it's a beautiful event and we're looking forward to it.
Are there any showcases?
Yes, this year we have Max
This-
Sinitsa and Tatiana Silverstone. We're really happy about that.
And Nino
and we,
Andra.
yeah. So we are those 2 couples. We will perform on the Friday, which is the 17th of April at the Dinner Dance Gala.
Don't miss, guys.
So
Don't miss the
Friday
event,
night,
right?
Friday night, 2 shows.
Yes. And we're just talking with Tatiana about possibly making one group one. So
Oh.
we'll see how that goes.
A
Well,
group
I
dance.
guess our viewers, whoever's listening, if you guys want to see that happen, the Quattro, come visit Toronto Open
Yeah.
on April 16th to 19th, right?
Yes.
16th to 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 days.
Yeah, because the first day on 16 we have quite a big training camp, so it's included.
Oh, about
into
camps.
the-
You guys have a camp coming up in December too.
Yes. It's going to be it's going to be 19th, 20th, and 22nd of December.
In Toronto.
Yes.
What can people see there if they come? What kind of training? Or is that secrets that when people come, you're
Yes, come and hear my secrets
We do.
on mental training.
gonna... And her motivational speeches, if you guys are interested what she listens
Oh,
to.
God.
We do tango waltz, Viennese waltz.
So you teach
No.
standard.
Of course not. We do Latin.
No,
No,
actually,
we are like trying to not just concentrate on our discipline, you know, but had some things that we need that help our dancing, like flamenco lesson and, you know, few things like that.
To open the horizons, and so you
Yes.
introduce other styles
Different
of
types
dancing.
of
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
right?
Different types of dancing.
Well, I guess we just wanted to thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
coming.
We already finished?
You don't want to finish? We can keep going.
We
Our
can-
listeners would love that.
Yeah, they would love to hear you more, but I guess our time's up. But we are very, very thankful that you guys, put us into your schedule and came to record this interview. Thank you, Andra. Thank you, Nino.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Inessa. Thank you, sir.
We just wanted to remind our listeners about our sponsors, Toronto Open Dance Championships happening April 16th to 19th. And the website is torontoopen.ca. So visit that and you can see all the information there, the hotel, tickets, and the schedule.
yeah.
And then let's remind our listeners where they can listen on which platforms
Right,
to this
so-
podcast.
Our podcast is on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and also Podbean. And now our very first video podcast is on YouTube.
With
so-
Andra and Nino.
Right. So if you guys give a big like, we'll
That's
keep doing this.
serious, huh? Are you serious?
We'll give a big like on this video if you guys like this, and subscribe to the channel because more is coming on Big Dancers. Thank you
Bye
guys.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.